TravelQuest Network agents, it's Anna, Education Specialist here at TravelQuest Network. And today we are going to talk about ground transportation. What is ground transportation? There's ground transfers, rail, and rental cars. So ground transfers. First of all, they're airport transfers. They can be shared or private. So shared transfers, your customers share their transfer with other travelers. At first you think this may not, be a big deal, but you have to remember that when you have shared transfers, your clients may be required to wait for other riders' flights, and they will probably be stopping at more than one hotel, and it could be up to 3 or 4 hotels before reaching theirs. Then there are private transfers. When you have a private transfer, your clients will be the only passengers on that transfer. They're often met at baggage claim or customs by a driver holding a sign with their name on it, so it'll say the Smith Party. In Mexico, you can use Lomas. Amstar is a supplier in Mexico and the Caribbean. And Carry International is a worldwide provider of private transfers, and they are an elevated, more high-end experience. Keep in mind that if you have a group of 4 or more passengers at a tour operator, say FunJet Vacations or Apple Vacations, where transfers are not included in the tour price, it may be less expensive to do private transfers versus shared transfers. So price it out both ways when you have a group of 4 or more passengers at a tour operator. You may be pleasantly surprised that a private transfer will be less expensive. Then there's transfers between hotels and or resorts, or if your customer is going from one city to the next. They are going to be private transfers. You can use Carry International, you can use Beds Online, internationally or domestic. There's Amstar in Mexico and the Caribbean, and then Lomas in Mexico. You can also do a taxi or a car that's arranged through the hotel concierge, and it really depends on your client's comfort level. If they're not used to traveling internationally and they really need that hand holding and want to make sure their driver's there, they are being taken care of, they're getting from point A to point B, and it's all arranged and paid for in advance, then I would definitely book it in advance. If they're an experienced traveler, they can arrange that through the hotel concierge for a taxi or a car, or you can do that through the hotel concierge as well. For rail, and we'll divide that into North America and international rail. So North American rail, Rocky Mountaineer is an elevated level of train service. So this is a very nice train experience, wonderful food. It encompasses the Canadian Rockies, Vancouver to, it goes all the way to Calgary. Part of that would be in a motor coach, as there's not rail for all of that trip, but it is a wonderful experience. Your customers do not sleep on the train. They sleep in first class hotels. So that is a plus. So they don't miss anything by traveling at night. They are in hotels at night and travel during the day, so they see the wonderful scenery. It's a great option. They can do a one-day train trip out of Vancouver and be able to experience that, and then hop on a trip to Alaska via one of the cruise lines. So that's a great option there. We also use rail bookers for Canada. We recommend that over Via Rail. We have had some issues in the past with commissions with Via Rail, so we recommend you use rail bookers. You can use Yankee Holidays in the US, And both Rail Bookers and Yankee Holidays, they do not only the rail, but they can do the hotels and tours as well as the rail. So that's a thing to keep in mind. And then when you look at international rail, there's Rail Europe. So if you're doing rail only, or you can use Europe Express, where you can get a complete package: hotel, transfers, rail, and tours all in one spot. You can also add international air in there as well. So it can be a full package. And I found it very easy to use either one of those companies in Europe. And next is car rentals. And if you're doing car only, you can book it direct at one of the car rental companies in their agent portals. It's almost always better if you can do air and car together and get a benefit of a discount, especially at Delta Vacations. If you're in a Delta hub, you'll be surprised if you have a 5-day car rental, what the price is compared to air only and then car rental only. So always think of that as an option as well. You can use Auto Europe for Europe, and I would recommend calling for your first time because it is just a little bit different for you. You can make sure that you have the correct insurance for your customers as they'd be international, and make sure if they need an international driver's license or not. And I found them very helpful at Auto Europe, helping you pick out the best option for your client. You can also use Carry International for a private car and driver. So if your client is going from one city to the next and they prefer not to rent a car and they're okay with a private driver that may be a little more expensive, by all means, use Carry International. They're wonderful for your customers to do that. And then here are some resources for you. This is the quick reference guide for travel leaders, and it'll have the rental car companies and their phone and their website. It has Amtrak if you're doing rail only in North America, and then it'll have the Rail Europe number and website as well. Here's also a link to Rail Europe and then a link to Carry International. And I will just show you quick those sites. So here is the Auto Europe site. And when you log on, you can book one-way trip. So you can do, say, London to Paris. You can do it round trip, London to Paris. Or you can do multi-city, London to Paris, and then Paris to Amsterdam. And your client could fly home out of Amsterdam. So it's very flexible. You can filter it by direct flights, and you can select the number of passengers you want to book. So very easy. I'll also show you the quick reference guide that is available through Travel Leaders. And you would go on to Agent Universe, which is the Travel Leaders agent website. Come over here to Resources, and then right down here to the quick reference guide. And when you open it up, you'll be able to see the car rental companies with their phone numbers and websites. Here is Amtrak and Rail Europe, their phone numbers and their websites. So it's a nice, really concise guide. And then if you want the contact information for Carry International, just go to the Travel Quest Network portal, log in. You will go to the Rolodex and then click C for Carry. Here is their website link. They pay 12%, and here is their phone number. And you will want to set up an account with them. So thank you for joining me today, and I hope I have helped you understand a little bit more about ground transportation and maybe given you a few tips. Have a wonderful day.